I'm the type of guy at work that likes to go in there, work my ass off, do everything I can, and I know that everybody around me notices it because every time I get talked about, everybody's like, "Yeah, we can see you being leadership material. You're the next in line for the promotion. We just need you to hold tight. Just hang in there. Once that opportunity comes up, your name's first on the line. Let's just keep you around, and this doesn't make you do the same role forever because you're good at it, but we promise you the next time there's an opportunity, you're definitely gonna get that promotion." But I'm at the point now where because I've been working so hard and I've been just grinding my soul away at this job that I don't really want to work at no more, I actually just genuinely don't even want a promotion. And for a lot of people, that's probably going to sound crazy. Like, how do you not want to move up in the company? Make more money, have less responsibility, probably end up working less hard, right? Well, maybe physically, because a lot of you know my story by now. I work at a warehouse, but you know, I don't actually see myself being in management at a place like that. I don't see myself having to sit in meetings and do all these Zoom calls and having to sit in the office all day, air conditioned. Like, to me, that's just like unattractive on its own. Like, that's just not something I want to do all day. Is sit at a desk. That's why I don't have an office job. And I've seen what office jobs do to people. They suck your soul out, even more so than at least physical labor jobs, right? At least, I'm working all day, manual labor. It keeps my brain occupied where I can, keeps my body occupied where I can let my brain kind of wander and think about things. And, I'm not consumed mentally by the job, at least, once I get away from it. And at the same time, it might be less work, but it is definitely more responsibility. And I'm just so beyond even wanting to do anything with this place anymore that I want to go in there and have as little responsibility as possible. I'm on the verge of basically just quiet quitting, just sitting in the corner and sitting on my phone, go hiding in the bathroom. Like, I don't want to do any work anymore, and I don't want to have any responsibilities, right? I want to be able to just go in there, be a fly on the wall, and go home. And that's been my motto for like the last month or so now. If you've seen my rant video where I just talked about how much I hate my coworkers, and now I'm at the point now where I don't want to manage those people. Y'all heard of how bad they are, right? You've heard like about the guy who's just an idiot and doesn't know anything. I don't want to have to babysit him all day. And then the guy who's always complaining and being negative. I don't want to have to deal with him. I don't want to have a conversation with him every time he, feels like he's been in the wrong or somebody's, against him. He's got the whole company against him, and I don't want to have to manage his emotions all day. And then I didn't even bring up Loudmouth, y'all. If y'all remember the story of Loudmouth, like, he actually wants to be promoted, believe it or not. I don't know what in the hell he's thinking that somebody actually is going to promote him, but then again, companies love to promote guys like him. I feel like the ones who just have a very high opinion of themselves, but for no reason, have a very mediocre work ethic, and just generally just apathetic towards the job, but not in a very obvious quiet quitting kind of way. Yeah, actually, now that I talk about it, he might be the perfect candidate for the role, right? But I've even talked to him and told him, like, yeah, man, if you want it, go get it. Like, I'm not going to stop you. I'm beyond even wanting to get another raise, get another promotion. I'm fine staying at this place right where I'm at until I either find another job, which is not the path I really want to do, or my YouTube channel takes off enough to where I can just say fuck it and not have to go in there ever again, which is my actual goal, which, that might take some time. I'm not expecting to go viral overnight or anything, but, it's definitely a goal of mine, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I want to make money off this channel one day. I think everybody would want to. And that's gotten me to where I'm thinking, like, I don't see myself having a future at this place. Like, I genuinely just don't want to be promoted. And I think that goes for not just this job, but every job I would ever work at in the future, right? I'm a pretty, like, low-fi, low-responsibility kind of guy, where I just like to just go into the job, have that routine where I just do the same thing, and just go home. And a lot of people like to, like, complain about how mundane and boring their routine is, but I'm someone who genuinely craves routine. Like, I like things to be predictable, and be the same way every single day. And that's where I can breed efficiency, right? Like, I'm very big on being efficient, and sometimes that love for routine and efficiency actually competes with my deeper desire to be more ambitious and try new things, and you know make new goals for myself, and try to actually improve my life in every way I can. So I have this weird dichotomy going on in my head where I want to level myself up, but it's not at my job. And a lot of times you're just going to work your ass off at a job and never get any recognition for it anyway. I'm being like socially recognized for it, but I'm not being financially recognized for it. I'm not being, mentally recognized for it. It's to the point where there's no actual genuine benefit for me to keep going in there and working as hard as I can when I'm apathetic towards even moving up in the company whatsoever. I have no desire to, and something tells me out there that there's a lot of people who feel the same way I do, and they're probably also very hardworking, diligent, very strong-willed employees who just realize, like, I'm just good at what I'm good at, and if they don't want to promote me, it is what it is, because I don't really want it anyway. And I'm sick of my job to the point where I just don't see myself staying there too much longer. And if I'm someone who's already miserable and stressing with a low responsibility job, working just 40 hours a week doing the same thing at this place every day, imagine the added stress that would come with, being a manager, having to maintain all the employees, having to, do all the time cards, having to, go, like I said, go into meetings and emails and all that. And it's just a lot of stress that I don't genuinely think is worth the extra dollar or two I would probably make. I know there's guys in there that have the role of like supervisor, lead, or whatever, and they don't even have the title of the job. So they have the promotion and all but name and pay. They're doing the work. They're not getting paid for it. And I think that specific environment has kind of nurtured this feeling in me where I just don't want to engage with that system whatsoever. I don't want to be abused where I'm doing all the work and I'm not getting paid, I'm not getting recognized, I'm not getting appreciated for it. That's one of the things they say about our generation, is that we're so lazy. We don't want to work, we don't want to do this, we don't want to do that. But really, we just want to be appreciated for what we do. We want to be financially compensated very well for what we do. We want to be, appreciated by all of our peers. We'd like to, move up the corporate ladder. It feels like it's impossible to move up the corporate ladder to the point where I don't even want to try anymore, because I've been there for 2.5 years, just straight busting my ass every day, all day. Up until, like I said, last couple months, because I've kind of slowed down a little bit, prioritizing myself and, things outside of work. But in all reality, every time they ask me if I want to get promoted going forward, I'm just going to say no. I'm just going to tell them straight up, like, nah, I don't actually see myself ever moving up in this company, and I'm here to just ride my position out until either the job goes or I go. It really is just that simple. And if you're someone who feels the same, just know I'm right here with you. And maybe you're someone who actually wants promotion and you just feel stuck and you feel like you're never going to get it. First thing I'll tell you is just stop fighting for it. It's never going to come to the people who want it the worst, who want it the most, who want to fight for it the hardest. It always goes to the people who either are most friendly with the boss or someone who's in good favor with them. It never really goes to the person who most deserves it. I think everyone on the planet would agree with that. So genuinely just stop giving a shit about whether you get a promotion or not. It was honestly once I stopped giving a shit that I actually started getting asked if I want to move up and take on more responsibility. And ironically enough, the time I get asked is the time I don't actually want to do it. So yeah, just stop giving a shit. And I mean genuinely. I don't mean like fake it till you make it. I mean no, it's just stop caring, because it's not that important. And a lot of times when you get promoted, you realize you just hate what you're doing now. It was never the role you actually wanted. Things are always better in your head than they actually are in reality. And most of these 9-to-5s just aren't worth your normal 40-hour weeks, never mind the added responsibility of having to stay there long past all the normal employees are gone. This has been Chris, keeping it candid. All of you guys go out there and get promoted. No, I'm just kidding. But no, seriously, if you do, I'm proud. I'm happy for you. And, you know, I'm not saying that all promotions should be shunned. If you do get one, hey, more power to you. I'm happy for you. Share me your stories down below if you're struggling to get a promotion out there. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. I'll let you guys go out there and have a good day.